again, fishes, for another episode. Gotta put up with me. So, and my good friend here, Phil Piscitello. So, he's a man of many faces, huh?
Yep.
So,
back again.
Good stuff. Back again,
absolutely.
One of our early episodes, but just kind of in a different format here today.
Yep.
So, today we're going to talk about Midwest outdoors, and that's kind of the goal of our show today. And we've advertised with Midwest Outdoors for a while now, and they've been a big supporter in things that we do. So, that's the idea. Is let's talk a little bit about Midwest Outdoors.
Yeah, Midwest Outdoors has been around as long as I am old, actually.
Holy smokes.
Came out in 1967.
Okay.
Back then, the premise of Midwest Outdoors was, for the average guy, you don't need to go to Alaska or Florida to enjoy the outdoors.
Mm-hmm.
You can do it within a 1 to 2 hour from your home, right in your own backyard.
Mm-hmm.
And Midwest Outdoors teaches you how to enjoy the outdoors right in your own neighborhood.
Okay.
Where to go, what to use, how to use it.
Okay.
And just helping people enjoy the outdoors. That was its premise back then, and it's the same to this day right now.
Okay. Midwest Outdoors is primarily a media company, correct? This is
yep.
one of their outlets for that. So is the magazine's probably the most popular or widely used. So
Yep.
Very good. Okay. And what are some of the other outlets of media that they have then?
They also have the Midwest Outdoors TV show.
Okay.
That's been going on since 1985.
Okay.
It's seen all across the Midwest on 30 different channels.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably the longest syndicated show on TV
Okay.
in North America right now.
Okay.
It's in Illinois. You can get it on CN 100. You can get it on the Outdoor Network.
Okay.
You can get it on cable.
Okay. How many states do
DirecTV.
they cover? Do you know?
It covers 11 states.
11.
In Midwest Outdoors, it has a main section, and then it has a section for each of the states. And depending on what state you live in, that's what comes in your particular issue.
Okay.
So we have Illinois, Wisconsin, Michigan, Minnesota,
Okay.
Iowa, has Kentucky.
Okay.
It's got the Dakotas.
Okay.
So it covers quite a range. And when you subscribe to the magazine, you can get whatever section you want. If you want all the states, you can request all the states.
Okay.
Like we live in Illinois right here, so you'd get the Illinois section. A lot of people who live close to the border, like we're located here, you can request the Illinois and the Wisconsin section.
Okay.
So
do you actually
that
get two
option.
different copies then, or do you know how that works? Because I don't.
no, it's you get one magazine,
Okay.
and then each one has the main section,
Uh-huh.
and this one has section 2 of the main section, and then we'll have your state section.
Okay. So you get
Depending
the
on what state it
insert.
is, it's got the Illinois, Wisconsin.
But if you wanted a Wisconsin one, you would get the main section. You wouldn't get the Illinois. You would actually get the Wisconsin if you
If you lived
selected
in
that.
Wisconsin.
Right.
If you whatever state you live in, that's the section you automatically get with your magazine.
But you can select another one.
Absolutely, you can
Okay.
select one or more,
Right.
or
If you're
all.
trying to learn different states or different
Absolutely.
areas that you
Yep.
know you're going to go to in a couple months or
Yep.
whatever it might be, you could start reading up. Yep. So, and I see the crafty marketing Midwest Outdoors because it's all the Midwest states, huh?
Exactly,
I'm
yep.
on to something. So, all right. And then I've heard, and tell me if this is true or not, but you're actually a contributor there, huh? And a writer.
Yep, I've been writing for Midwest Outdoors going on 14 years.
Oh, my. All right. 14 years of articles.
14 years of articles.
That's
yep.
a lot of writing.
Yep, I
a lot
started-
of thinking, a
yeah.
lot of fishing.
Yep. And I basically got into it because of my fishing experience. I've been fishing all my life, 48 years. So
Okay.
I started out in the Illinois section,
Okay.
writing on the Fox chain right in our backyard right here.
Okay.
What you're located on, and write a report every month on the Fox chain about what to expect, what the kind of fishing is good at a particular month, what to use, how to use it,
Mm-hmm.
and just keep you updated on all the events that's going on around tournament-wise, everything, functions out of, like here, Musky Tails, and different things that are going on around the different areas here.
Okay, yeah, that's not just for us. It's not just putting an ad in there and and kind of getting the name out there. It's also about, like you say, putting on mentioning events, and you've written for different things that we've done as well. So
Absolutely.
okay, so and you've been fishing your whole life, but you weren't writing articles for them when you were 5, huh?
No,
not
nope.
at that time, huh? So
Nope.
all right.
I actually got talked into writing for them because I was never really a school type guy. Never really good, especially like English and that stuff. I was never like I was always like a shop guy. I always wanted to get out and go fishing or do something else. I was never like a studious type
More
of person.
hands-on
yeah,
experience?
I can't sit down
Okay.
and write or do any of that stuff. So I was actually talked into writing for him
Okay.
a while back. I worked for another tackle store.
Okay.
And the manager back then, he he was friends with Dan Ferris, who's the owner now of
Okay.
Midwest Outdoors, and he asked me, he goes, Phil, you know really a lot about fishing. You're out there all the time. You ever think about writing for him?
Right.
I told him, well, not really. I'm not really a writer or everything. Then he goes, I'll tell you what we'll do. He says, you dictate it to me and I'll write your articles for you.
Okay.
Okay, that sounds good.
Right.
So I would sit there and narrate, and he'd type all my stuff up, and we did it for like 6-8 months.
Okay.
And it went pretty good. He got the articles, and then he started appearing in the papers. Hey, okay, this is pretty cool. I like
Right.
it. And then after a while, he's like, why don't you try doing a couple on your own, see how it goes. So I started doing it. I got them out, and before you know it, I'm writing articles. 13 years later, here I am.
Oh, wow. Okay. And so the articles, how long does it take you to write an article? I mean, is it a couple hours, or are you putting a lot of time into this in terms of over the course of the month, like prepping for the next article, or?
Some of them, like I'm thinking of stuff up like a year in advance.
Okay.
For some of them, because the way the magazine works, like if I'm writing for, like right now I'm going to be writing for the May issue coming up. I'm starting to think of that. So I got to think 2 months in advance of what's
Okay.
going on in May. So for like, I do photos too. I put photos into my articles
Okay.
too. So I try to do it, like right now, all my photos I'm doing for ice fishing, those are going to be for next year's winter sections. I'm getting all that planned. So every time I go fishing, I go out there with, I'm getting a story. I'm out there like a reporter getting a story.
Okay.
Every time I fish, I'm getting pictures, getting data, materials,
Okay.
stuff like that. So
And you're probably getting a lot of these pictures that you mentioned that you use for your articles. Are you also welcoming pictures for people to send in their catches?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Especially like if I do the chain articles. Anyone who comes into your place or the bait shops, they have pictures of fish they caught on a chain. Yeah, send them to me. I can use them in the magazine.
And how do they get pictures to you?
Either through my email. I can
Okay.
send them my email, or you can just bring them to you over here at the
Yeah.
shop through you. And you
Or
can
my
forward
catch
them.
at muskytails.com.
Yep.
That's probably the best way to do it. So that
Yep.
way you send your pics and we can forward them to you. And we've actually had, which is kind of cool, some of our customers coming through here that you've had in not only articles, but you've had a few of them on the covers, which is awesome to see.
Yeah, that's a nice surprise.
So
type of
yeah,
thing.
exactly. I know you said you submit them and it goes
Yep.
through a process. So, but yeah, we've had a few faces
Right.
that are regulars of the shop, which is kind of cool.
And then the
So,
managing editors down there, they decide what pictures they put in, what
Yeah.
goes on covers and whatnot,
Right.
everything. But I can shout them a little hint, ask them, here and there, hey, can you think you could
Sure.
help me out? Maybe put this guy in the covers. I think it would make a really good cover for really good stories.
Right, yeah. So, or some of those bikini shots, right? So very good. And then as far as the articles, you've written articles about events, you've written articles about fishing techniques and different waters, things like that. I know some of the stuff that you do is actually marked maps of different
Right.
waters that you actually have fished yourself. So talk about that and how you go about, I guess, putting that out.
Well, first, what I want to start out saying is when I started out with the Illinois section, I was doing a Fox Chain report every month.
Okay.
And after a while, I was like, okay, this is good, but I've done this all my life. And it's like, I want to do a little bit more. So I went to Dan Ferris over there at Midwest. I said, Dan, I can do a lot more things. I fish all over the place, not just a chain. I'd like to maybe do a main section article every month too. What do you think? He said, yeah. He says, why don't you think of a title for your article and give me some ideas of what you want to write about, and send it to us, and we'll go from there. And I had a ton of ideas, sent it to him, and I go, we like your stuff, let's run with it. Start sending us some articles. So
Okay.
that opened up the door. So because I go to all over the place fishing. In Wisconsin, I'll do trips to the Great Lakes, Erie for walleyes, Canada, and stuff, and I want to write about all that stuff. So now I'm able to do that too, which is really good. So it got my interest really going. It got me spread out more. Now I'm known more all over the place than just in Illinois. So I get my name out there a little bit. Helps me because I have a guide service. Helps me there. Helps
Yep.
people know who I am more all over the
Sure.
place. And then about a year and a half ago, they came to me and said, hey, we're thinking about doing marked maps for people. Because I think that's a good idea if people want to go to the chain or Geneva or anywhere. And if they have a marked map of where to go, what to use, and how to use it once you get to the spots. He said that'd be great for people. They love that stuff. It's like going to a resort. If you go to a Canadian resort, the lodge owner will give you a map and stuff like that. And you can get that in Midwest Outdoors now.
Right.
So that's been one of our really popular features now. It's over the last year and a half, and people are loving it, the different maps. So
Yeah.
it's become really, really helpful.
And I know we've talked about having some of those marked maps here in the shop of different waters, so
Right.
people come in, we can talk about different things.
Yep.
And as being part of our pro staff. We also do the pro staff breakfast once a month, the last Saturday of every month. So people can come in, you can talk to, Phil and other pro staff about different waters and things of that nature. But having marked maps in the Midwest Outdoors is a great thing, because a lot of times people are fishing different waters, and whether they're going there or not, if they see it, it kind of gets them thinking about new waters. So,
and everything I want to mention too about that pro staff breakfast, it's really neat, because all the guys you see on Facebook who are actually fishing, or the guides you read about in Midwest Outdoors, you can come here and actually have breakfast with them, meet them, and talk with them one-on-one basis, and you can just really pick their brains. And I think that's a great thing that we started doing that.
Absolutely, really, and you can sit down and read a Midwest Outdoors right here at the bar or tables. So while you're talking to the pros themselves.
Absolutely, because Midwest Outdoors is available through a subscription on the newsstands. You can get them right here. You have them all every month. You get them
and people can order them obviously online. Go to the Midwest Outdoors, I'm assuming .com, and order stuff that way. Our issues are $4 an issue, and they can also do some of the yearly stuff as well.
Absolutely.
So,
and each issue has nearly 100 articles in each one, and that's a lot of reading. That's really good. And then we have special sections. Like in the wintertime, we'll have a icebreaker section, November, December, January, all ice fishing related topics in a special section. Around the sports show time, we'll have one called Canada Fever section. It talks all about Canada, where to go in Canada, the different lodges that are available, what to take to Canada, fishing equipment wise, and how to use it when you get to these different lakes and stuff. How to plan a trip. And
have you ever, because you mentioned the TV show, have you ever been on any of the TV episodes at all?
I have.
Have you? Okay. Do you remember where you went? Or?
Yeah, I did some stuff on the chain here. We did some on Lake Geneva.
Oh, we got to watch that one. All right. Good stuff. And how long ago was that? Do you remember that?
Oh, probably over 10 years ago.
Was it a while?
Yeah.
Okay. We got to get an updated one. We got to get you out there. So. Good stuff. And as far as other writers, I know there's a lot of contributors that put stuff through, and probably all the different regions. I'm assuming, obviously, every region has different writers.
Right.
Are there any writers or influencers over the course of your career that you've kind of looked up to or mentored from, that type of thing, or learned from that matter?
Absolutely. Back in the day, the magazine back in the 60s, 70s was Fishing Facts magazine.
Okay.
And back then, and all the top pros that we know today have gone through that magazine or wrote for them at one point or another.
Okay.
Like Alan Ron Linder, the Linder brothers, Babe Winkleman, Spence Petros, Carl Maltz.
All big names.
All big names have all come through the magazine. Roland Martin.
Okay.
And Spence Petros, for one, he's been a mentor of mine forever. I've attended his fishing classes. He held classes for 40 years.
Yeah.
I went to his class like 8 years in a row.
Okay.
I got into writing. He knew I was a guide. I fished with him numerous times. He kind of gave me pointers on writing and everything. And he was the managing editor of Fishing Facts magazine for 25 years as well.
Oh, no kidding. So, I didn't know that. Yeah.
And he was really a big help. And as long as Steve over at the fishing tackle store that I worked at, those two guys really got me into it and really got me going, gave me pointers.
Okay.
So I've really
Okay.
really gotten really good at writing now. And
yeah, so you do the writing. You don't have to dictate it where somebody else types it out. You
no,
actually type it out.
It's all me.
You're getting good. Did you take typing classes or what?
No.
You're learning, huh?
Yep, that's what takes me the longest. Getting it typed out and sending it in.
Sure.
Because once. It's funny because I'll sit down and it's like, okay, what am I going to write about now? I can't think of a thing, my mind will be blank. Then all of a sudden I'll think about it for a few minutes. Then all of a sudden, boom, it hits me and it flows. I'll write a story just like that.
So you kind of come up with the topic and then you kind of fill in the blanks from there in a sense, huh?
Yeah, the chain section especially because what I'm going to write about each month, I kind of know that for experience. But the main section, I kind of think of what I'm going to do each month because I have so many different things I want to.
And you were saying that you're mapped out almost a year? Is that kind of...
Well, like my main section articles, if I want to do like a spring walleye article or something, like the year before, when I'm in March and April when the time frame is, I'll be out there on the water fishing, taking pictures of the big spring walleyes. And then by the time I get all that done, I'll save that for the next year, March and April, because I'll be writing about that in January, February for March and April.
Okay.
So that's how I'm thinking things a year in advance for like main section articles.
Okay. But for example, I mean, you talk about the big spring walleyes. For example, big spring walleyes this year is gonna kind of be big spring walleyes in 2021 as well. So, so are you kind of just revisiting a lot of the same topics year to year and just crafting it and changing it based on experiences then, or are you changing up? Are you going to big spring crappies, for example? Are you doing that type of stuff too?
Oh yeah, well, as far as species goes, that changes all the time.
Okay.
What I want to write about.
Yeah.
But as far as walleyes from year to year, I mean, their locations and stuff might be the same.
Yeah.
Weather's different every year. Sometimes there's weather's warmer earlier. Sometimes we have cold springs. It's different. Every year, new lures, techniques come out. So,
that's new
explore all
products.
that cutting edge.
Fisherman's Sidekick.
Absolutely.
So
Fisherman's
that was
Sidekick.
one
That's
of
one
our
of
product
them.
reviews.
Yep.
Yeah. So, and they're going to be marketing and
Right.
advertising with Midwest Outdoors. I think starting in April, if I remember. So, but yeah, so new products and things
Absolutely.
like that.
New products come out. It's back to the walleyes. If
Yeah.
new walleye jigs or crankbaits come out, I want to get a handful of them. I want to take them out in the field,
Yeah.
test them, write about them.
Okay. Yeah, and products, obviously, there's always new things that are happening. So
Yep.
okay. And as far as you touched on the walleyes, with subscriptions, isn't there a program of some sort that some of the monies from subscription goes towards something with one of the walleye programs, or?
They have something that goes towards stocking. stuff like
Stocking, is that
Yep.
what it is?
Yep.
Okay, so some of the subscription
The
money goes,
proceeds.
the
Yep.
proceeds go
Uh-huh.
towards stocking. Okay,
Yep.
so another good reason to buy
Right.
Midwest Outdoors.
Yep.
Yeah, so, okay.
And then there are advertisers in there that goes towards the running of the magazine.
Sure,
stuff
yeah,
like that
well,
as
obviously, there's a
Yep.
cost with that, and that's understood, so.
And another really neat thing about Midwest Outdoors, our managing editor, who's the head editor, who's our boss, who we run everything by him now. We just had a new one who came on board 2 years ago.
Okay,
He's not new into fishing. He's a legend in fishing. It's really cool because he was one of my mentors growing up. It was Dave Sanda.
Okay.
And for those of you who have been around fishing for a long time, he was one of the original guys with In Fisherman back in the day. He grew up in Chicago with the Linders. When he was in his low 20s, he moved up to Minnesota, Brainerd. That's
Okay.
where the In Fisherman started, where Al and Ron started that company. He's been with them for years.
okay,
Then after that, Al and Ron retired from In Fisherman, sold that. They started Linder's Anglers Edge Fishing Show, and then Dave went and worked with them for a while. So he's like done everything
Right.
there is to do in fishing.
Right.
Wrote about it, fished everywhere across the world.
okay.
And now he's my boss, and I get to talk to him
Oh, that's awesome,
on a monthly
yeah.
basis, and it's like,
Uh-huh,
it's really cool talking to a legend who I
Right.
grew up watching.
right, exactly, yeah.
And another incentive, when I send an article to him and he reads it and he tells me, "Well, that article you sent in, that was a masterpiece. You did a really good
Yeah.
job." I mean,
Yeah.
coming from a legend,
Right.
that really
Makes you feel good,
Makes you feel
makes you want to
good.
write another article.
So seeing that I'm doing a good job for.
Yeah.
You're saying that the Mark Map articles are doing
Those-
very well.
really, yeah.
And a lot of people can't wait to get their next issue for the next Map article to come
Okay.
out.
So how do people, if they want to give feedback or learn new information or give suggestions on topics, what do they do? Do they go to Midwest Outdoors, and is there a Dropbox for ideas, or what are they, seriously, if somebody wants to learn about something that might not be in one of the articles, what do they?
Yeah, you can go onto their website too,
Just
Midwest
email
Outdoors.
them
Yep, email. Yep,
email people and kind of get that out there. You'll be writing about new stuff.
absolutely.
I'm
Yep.
gonna put some ideas in. I don't know what, but
Absolutely, that's
So-
what most of the writers out there too. They're out in the field too.
Yeah.
And they're just amongst the people that they meet and talk
Okay.
to and fish with. They get ideas through them, and they come back to the magazine that way as well.
okay. Very good. And as far as the TV show, you mentioned one of the channels locally that it's on. Is it an hour-long program?
Half hour.
It's half hour
Half hour,
long?
yep.
Okay.
Usually they have 3 segments on each one, and they give a tip of the week.
Okay. Okay. And and even the tips of the week, that stuff's always good to learn too. So.
Yep, we have a couple of our regular TV hosts, Larry Ladowski and Roger Cormier. They do
Okay.
a lot of Minnesota, Canadian segments. We do local segments too. This year we're going to be filming some stuff back on the Chain of Lakes and some
really?
more local
Okay.
stuff now.
Yeah.
And they cover like Kentucky Lake and different areas because that's part of their area that we cover. So
Yeah.
we go to different lodges.
Do you promote your guide business other than writing the articles? Do you promote through Midwest Outdoors at all? Or?
Just through the articles.
You
that I
do,
write.
okay.
Yep.
So yeah, so you mentioned
Yep.
that. Obviously, I've seen the articles there, but Very good. And then as far as fishing facts, you touched on that earlier, is kind of where a lot of the writings, started. Is fishing facts still around, or
No.
no? Okay.
Back in the day, before even fishing facts, there was like Field and Stream,
Okay.
Sports Afield, and those were the D magazines. And there wasn't really much how-to on fishing back in the day.
Yeah.
And then a guy by the name of Buck Perry came out. I think we might have even touched on it last time we talked.
Yep.
And he came out with his spoon plugging and stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
then a guy by the name of Bill Binkelman out of Milwaukee started a paper called Fishing News. It was a newspaper form.
Okay.
And I think there was 50 copies of that, 50
Mhm.
different papers. And
Mhm.
then it went from that to the magazine. It became Fishing Facts in 1971.
Okay.
And then from there it ran all the way up into the 90s.
Okay.
And then after that, Bill Binkelman retired, sold it to a gentleman by the name of George Pazik.
Mhm.
He bought it, and then a big company, media company, bought it from him.
Mhm.
And then eventually Midwest Outdoors bought the Fishing Facts.
Oh, okay. Oh, really?
And then they had a last
So
run.
it's kind of come from
Yeah,
that then.
But
Yeah.
then they kind of this went away with that magazine and just focused strictly on the Midwest Outdoors magazine
Yeah.
and put everything into that.
Okay. So, and obviously the world's changing in terms of, print and technology and all that. Are people able to get online versions of this, or?
It's coming.
Okay.
Yep, we got some new employees that is hired now back
Okay.
in there who are really good and are working on that right now. So there
Okay.
is the digital format is
Oh,
coming.
okay. Well, that's pretty cool.
In the works.
It's almost like I knew that question. That was a good one.
Yep.
So, all right.
Yep, good things to come.
Yeah. So that's awesome, though, and that is important. Obviously, in today's world, a lot of people are, doing stuff that way. But yeah, we obviously have the issues here. I don't get time to go through it all the time. I kind of open an article here and there and read through them, but it's always good information and always appropriate. So, do you have a favorite species that you like to write about in general?
I fish for everything that swims freshwater, so
Really? Okay.
I like the challenges and the variety of everything, of all the different species, all the different challenges. I'll fish any technique, any lake, river, reservoir. I like to travel all over.
When
so
was
it's
the
a
last
challenge.
article you wrote on catfish?
Catfish? Probably last year.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
How about carp?
Carp, I have not written a carp.
Well, there
article.
you go. Let's get busy.
It will be.
Come on. When's carp season?
Carp season, whenever the water's open.
Those buggers are going to be spawning soon. So, yeah,
I'll
the
tell you
water
what,
will be.
one
yeah.
good spot to catch carp is right in your back channel, right
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
There's a friend of mine fishes here every spring. He
Mhm.
comes over here and he baits it and he catches
Carp, yep.
The last year he was out here, I think he caught like 20 big carp, and him and his buddies had a blast out there.
That'd be a great article. You
Yep,
get some
absolutely.
carp readers. They're,
Yep.
they're out there. So, but yeah, all kinds of different things you could write about. Any events that you can think of this year that you're going to be writing on or writing about, I guess, for that matter? Anything that you can think of? Event-wise, not necessarily fish, but any events or anything that are upcoming?
Take event fishing.
Okay.
That's huge.
Mhm.
And
Do you have an article for that, or
I'm going to
you'll
write
do-
about
you'll
that.
do an article? Okay,
Yep.
awesome. All right.
Yeah, about that. He's in his TV show, which is I watch that every week now.
Absolutely.
It's just
Yeah. Operation Fishing
Operation
Freedom.
Fishing Freedom.
Sponsors
I mean,
of the
that
show
is
here
just-
today. Yep.
the people, the stories on that show. I mean, really. I mean, that's what gets me going too. And I volunteer for every event like that I can. Any vet event, any handicap event, I'm right at the front.
Mhm.
I'm ready. Boat number 12 and this one coming up.
Mhm.
We have out. It's based out of here, which
Yep.
is exciting.
Yep.
So
End of May, I think it is. I
Yep.
don't know the exact date, but yeah, you talked about the special needs. I know you support a lot of different outings and things going on. Are there certain programs that you've written about or will write about for special needs programs?
yeah, I'll write about the upcoming like Fishing Has No Boundaries.
Okay.
It's another organization that takes out disabled people.
Okay.
Physical and mental disabilities. And
Have you
do
written
every
about
year.
that in the past, or
Absolutely,
You
yep.
have. You've done articles.
Yeah,
there. Okay.
photo shoots, all kinds of stuff
Awesome.
for them. Yep.
Okay.
Helping raise money,
Mm-hmm.
all kinds of stuff.
Did you do a 2019 writing on that? Okay.
Yep.
And then what month does that typically take place?
That is usually the weekend after Labor Day every
Is
year.
it? Okay. Okay.
And it goes out on the chain over here out of
Mhm.
Grass Lake,
Yep. Very
out of
cool.
Halings. Yep.
Good stuff. And then I know you're a big promoter and supporter of all the youth programs as well. So I'm sure there's some youth programs that you either have or will be writing about there as well.
Yeah, there are a lot of kids derbies and
Mhm.
different things are going on, and just get our kids out fishing, get them away from the
Mhm.
video games and more in the outdoors.
Mhm.
Enjoy
Yeah.
the outdoors.
Yeah. Okay. And as far as the articles themselves, I mean, a lot of them, are 1 to 2 pages long, and a lot of different stuff. You got some good pictures in here. You got a lot of different advertisements of all sorts, and different products. Again, that as you flip through it, I'm always seeing different things that catch my attention constantly, and I'll take a highlighter and put it to the side and want to try and go back and learn more about that stuff. Or even resorts. As I'm flipping through here, there's different resorts that pop out. So a lot of different things that people could find out about, and apparel and all kinds of stuff.
Right.
So.
And speaking of resorts, a lot of people that you partner with too, like Temple Bay Resort and stuff, they advertise it here. They're good people.
Yeah.
All those places are good places to go. They're reputable. When you go to these places like this, you got a good time. They have show you a quality experience. They got good food. They got good guides. They got good fishing and everything, and all that. Everyone who advertises it here are quality, reputable businesses, and you can rest assured if you go to these places or use their product that you're going to get a good deal and use good quality equipment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good stuff.
Look at this is March's issue, so this is the upcoming issue. Look at the size of that walleye.
Pre-spawn walleye.
Yeah, so that is good stuff. Holy smokes!
Speaking of marked maps, so it's right there.
There you go. I turned right to it.
I did right there.
I know that guy. That's you. So
that's the Upper Mississippi River. I did.
Okay.
This month.
And this is March's issue. Okay, so very good. Do you know what the April issue is going to be as far as marked map, or no? Do you know which one?
Lake Wisconsin.
Is it? Okay. Lake Wisconsin, part of the Wisconsin River then? Does that all flow through?
Yep.
Okay.
It's just south of the Dells.
Yep. When was the last time you were there, just out of curiosity?
Last year.
Were you really? Yeah?
Yep.
Okay. What's good over there? Is it walleye or?
Walleye, sauger, smallmouth bass.
Okay.
It's got sturgeon in there.
Yep, I do know that. Yeah, our family used to have property over in Merrimack, which is right over
there. Oh yeah, right there.
Yeah.
So right, the ferry goes across right
you
there.
You got it.
There.
Yep. Yeah.
And white bass and crappies are real good there as well.
Okay.
Great fishery. Yep.
Very cool. Yeah, you hear a lot of different stuff. So that's neat. Very good. Another huge walleye.
Yep.
I thought I could sit there and flip through here and just look at fish
huge
pictures.
Walleyes this next month.
Gosh.
That's where you want to catch big walleyes. The Great Lakes, Green Bay, Lake Erie. If you want to catch fish like that, you catch a limited fish.
Brown trout action, yeah.
Brown trout. You don't have to go far. If you want trout action, you can go right here to our harbors. Racine, Kenosha, Milwaukee. You can catch us right in our harbors this early time of year. You don't need a big boat. You don't have to go on a charter.
Yeah.
You go to your small boat, a walleye boat, a bass boat.
Yeah.
Go right in the harbors and catch these fish during the harbors in the early spring.
So early spring meaning March, April, or
March, April. Yep,
March,
exactly.
April.
Yeah.
You'll be out. Are you going out there then?
I do some guiding out there.
Do you? Okay.
In the harbors a little bit as well.
Okay.
In the late fall and in the spring.
Really?
That's
okay.
another thing that we do as well as the regular warm water species.
Very cool.
Yep.
Good stuff. Tip of the month. See, tackle, all kinds of good stuff.
It is packed to the hilt with.
It's loaded
tips,
with
techniques,
information.
spots, guides.
Yeah, and again, for people that like to watch the TV show, they're doing it to absorb and gain knowledge and stuff like that. So this is great reading content
It's
and
helping
material to
people
go through.
enjoy the outdoors.
Yeah.
Hunting, fishing, where to go, how to use equipment.
Right. Yeah, actually, I recall now seeing a lot of hunting stuff in here as well, especially towards the fall season.
Yep.
It seems like there's a lot of that going on.
Yep, we got a very good staff on hand at very good hunting hunters.
Yellowbird planer boards. Every page I turn to, see, so now I know them. That's an upcoming episode we'll have on a podcast, actually. So, very good. Recipes. We even got recipes in here. So, you ever try some of these recipes?
Absolutely. You got to go out there, catch all those fish. You kill those game, and you come back. You got to cook them and everything. We got that. We got all the bases covered. How to clean fish, how to cook fish. Or wild game. And, Yep.
Very good.
Got you covered from the pre-planning to the trip to the after trip.
Yeah,
cleanup,
or even planning the trips in themselves. Yeah.
All different techniques.
You got places to go. Yeah. So a lot of information for anybody that hasn't read an article. We even have them in the bar here where people could sit and look at them at the bar. We obviously want to sell subscriptions and monthly issues, but if people come in for the pro staff breakfast or even outside of that, we have these here. And a lot of times we'll have last month's issue sitting on the bar type of thing. You could read through them. So Lots of stuff in here. So you've got a busy season. Well, there is no off season for you because this goes all 12 months.
All
so,
12 months.
Yeah.
I'm
So
fishing all 12 months.
You're
so
writing in some regard
writing and
constantly.
fishing away. Yep.
Yeah. So very good. And go ahead. What were you going
The
to
other
say?
thing I wanted to bring up too was about, I want to talk a little bit about Walleyes Unlimited.
Yep.
It's a fishing club I
Okay.
belong to.
Sure.
And I want to start with that. They were founded in 1969, and I want to go back to real quick to when Fishing Facts first started.
Okay.
Back then, the founder of our club, his name was Jim Ralsted. He founded the club in '69. Back then, he was a senior editor of Fishing Facts magazine.
Okay.
So he did a club corner in there, wrote about the club every month in the magazine as well. And our club, as long as fishing, when the fishing went through its revolution, buck peering, all the techniques, and it got advanced. The Walleye Club, since the founder of the club was an editor, he was right there with it. So the club followed through the revolution of fishing. We followed along with all the techniques as it went along. So the club was right there with Fishing Facts and the club, where we were really close as one, the club.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been around for 50 years, the club. I've been a member, this is my 31st year in the club. So, and it's a great club. We were inducted into the Hall of Fame for a good teaching and educational club. For someone who wants to join a club, if you want to catch a particular species of fish, I guarantee there's someone in the club that fishes for that species,
yeah.
or a particular lake. I guarantee there's someone in the club who fishes
Okay.
that particular lake. We have 300 plus members in our club right now.
Wow. Okay.
Our annual dues are $65 a year.
Yep.
And with that, you can get a subscription to Midwest Outdoors as part of your annual dues. If
Okay.
you wanted that.
Okay.
That's an option too, which I think is really a cool option. So you get the magazine.
Through
you get
the club, you get a subscription. Okay.
Yep. So I think that's a good thing to have with the club membership.
Yeah.
At the club, we have a monthly meeting.
Uh-huh.
It rotates. Like we just had our meeting last night. It was in Illinois,
Okay.
and we meet every other month at the American Legion Hall in Gurnee.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other month, we meet up in Wisconsin in South Milwaukee.
Okay.
At the Pele Restaurant in South Milwaukee.
Okay.
Every meeting will have fishing reports at the beginning. All the club members will get up and tell where they've been fishing and everything. And then they'll write it down. They'll put it in the newsletter.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have a break. We'll have a raffle. Then we'll have a guest speaker on afterwards.
Mhm.
A guide, professional fisherman, or one of the club members will talk on a particular technique or spot to fish, whatever. Like last night, we had a guide from northern Wisconsin talked about spring bass fishing in northern Wisconsin,
Okay.
which was a good topic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we've had a lot of the different pros. All the famous walleye pros have been there. A lot of the big pros, the Linders, came there for years.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the day, they used to speak at the club. Dave Sanda, who was our
Now your boss.
managing editor, my boss, he was on the board of directors of the club.
Okay.
He was the secretary of the club back in the early days of the club.
Okay.
So
And what's the club's name?
Walleyes Unlimited USA.
Okay. And what's their website?
Walleyes Unlimited USA.
Oh, that's what it
Yep.
is. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Just Google
Is
that.
it-
It'll all pop up, all your information. You could.
Walleyes Unlimited USA is
Yep.
it .com, other?
Yep. If you just Google that, it'll just pop up.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And you'll get all your information. It'll tell you what's the next guest speakers coming up.
Okay.
If you want to join, if you want to come as a guest, it's a $5 guest fee. If you want to see what we're all about, too. But I think that's a great way to
Yeah.
learn about fishing.
And as you're talking about that, even I didn't see any right now, but that's another thing that's in Midwest Outdoors is all the club information. You see a lot of clubs promotions, and even the crappie club that comes through here. I know was going, had some calendar, in Midwest Outdoors before, and just different
Yep, and in our
different
Illinois-
groups.
Illinois section, we have the calendar of events
Yeah.
of all the clubs, what's going on in the particular months. So
Okay.
it keeps you up to date on all that, too.
Okay, so that's found in one
Yep.
area then.
Yep,
Yeah,
so
makes
Walleyes
it
Un-
easy.
Yeah,
huh?
exactly. So
Wow,
Walleyes
speaking
Unlimited
of ease.
knows in here, so
Yeah.
find out what's going on through the magazine.
Okay. Good stuff. All good stuff.
Yep.
Very good. And then articles. Yeah, we'll get some of the marked maps. We'll get those around, and you'll continue to do those. And you got to keep coming up with new marked maps, though. So you probably have to keep fishing new waters. Huh?
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
But there's been so many waters I fished.
Really?
already,
Yeah.
So I got
Oh, you got
lots
a
and
whole,
lots
you got
and
a whole
lots.
supply of them,
Yep.
yeah. And
Yep.
when you run out, then go
Yep.
find some new ones.
And we'll do the same map again, the same But we'll do it for a different season too.
Oh,
we'll
that's
do it
true,
during the
yeah.
winter,
Oh,
we'll do
that's
it
true.
fishing the lake in the spring where
Yeah.
to fish. In summer, we'll do that too if we need to.
Yeah.
Go back to
So do you
lake.
journal when you go out and fish? Do you actually kind of take your own notes of
Oh,
different
absolutely.
things that you're learning on different
For
waters?
years,
Yeah.
I always take a map with me.
Okay.
Even if it's a lake, even here, I fish it forever, and I still take a map with me because if I'm going out there and I find a pattern, I'll scribble on a map.
Right.
Oh, I caught this fish here. I'm doing this in this weather, because we have electronics and everything. We have it on our electronics now. We have digital maps and everything, or mapping and all that stuff is on there. We got computers and everything. But I like to have a hard copy of everything.
Okay.
Because there's no guarantee electronics something could happen. They could wipe out or something. So I always like to have a hard copy too. Keep
Sure.
notes and go back to it. Keep logs
Mm-hmm.
of every day I was fishing, what the weather was,
Yeah.
what the conditions were, what the fish were, how they bit, where is it good bite, slow bite, what I caught them on.
Sure.
And you go back over that over years. That's how you can plan your trips for the following
Right.
years.
And that's
down the
probably
road.
good advice for young anglers in general, just to, not only learn from people who, write and, have done it before them, but just through your own experiences. Keep your own journals and information, because
Absolutely.
even the, well-experienced do that type of stuff, and that's kind of where all this content
Yep.
really kind of stems from. So, it is tough to remember every single thing every time you're out. So.
Right, and year after year, it's different every
Yeah,
time, and you go back to your
colors and
logs.
patterns and
I just
everything.
keep a little
and-
notepad for every year.
Right.
I'll buy a notepad
Yeah.
for 1996
Yeah,
to
right.
whatever, and
Yeah.
I'll look at here. In this state, I fished this lake. Oh, we caught this many fish. This was the weather and everything. And you can go back to it. And year after year, patterns develop.
Right.
That's how you can plan your trips for the next year. Okay.
Right.
Depending on the weather's going to do this weekend. So I remember a couple of years ago, if it's south wind on Channel Lake, that's a good time to go there for white bass
Sure,
or something
right.
like that. Or,
Yeah.
so that's how you can plan your trips and kind of keep it going.
And to simplify your process, instead of sitting there taking notes in the boat, just get a dictaphone, and now that you're
like I said,
now
it's
that you're a good
electronic-wise now.
typer, yeah,
Electronic
Just
age
go
now,
back
there's
and-
programs for all that stuff. You can talk.
right, exactly,
Type it out and everything.
Yeah, and then just have it typed out.
But usually
for
I
you,
don't have to
so.
wait when I'm on the boat. I actually go fish and do whatever. When I get back for the end of the day, then I'll put everything in my log while it's still fresh.
Sure, yeah,
So at the end of the day,
Yeah.
I'll put it in the log.
yeah. How hard is it, just in general, when you get to a new water? Because obviously this stuff helps us fish, but when you get to a new water, how hard is it to actually learn a new lake? Is it something that takes a day or several outings, or what's
Back
your
in the
take on
day,
that?
back in a long time ago,
Mhm.
took a long time
Mhm.
because you could finding spots took forever too. If there was like bars or islands, sunken islands, stuff took forever.
Mhm.
Today, with the technology out there today, with down imaging, side imaging,
Yeah.
pan optics,
Yeah.
you find stuff really fast.
Right.
Stuff that have been secrets, anyone can find out in
Right.
a day. You can go out there and find stuff that guides have known for years. It took them years to learn back in the day. You can find it in a day now, really
Okay. Yeah.
fast.
Yeah.
And technology, everything, social media makes things fast. Years ago, when there was a hot bite, you wouldn't find out about the hot bite. You read it in the paper, and that's 2 weeks old already.
Best
If you read it-
outdoors.
Sometimes Tribune, stuff like that back
Yeah.
then. You could read
Okay.
about that.
Sure.
And by the time you read about it, it was, now social media, Facebook, you're on there catching fish. You can plug it in. You know it instantly what's going
Right,
on. You
sure.
get out there.
Right.
Again, back in the day, if you wanted to learn techniques and stuff, you'd have to read Midwest Outdoors, Fishing Facts, and Fisherman.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Learn about that.
Mhm.
If you wanted to learn a technique today, how to fish a plastic worm, just go to YouTube, bring it up. There'll be 100 different videos on YouTube videos, how to fish it, how to tie a knot, how to do whatever. It's all there. So you can get good, really fast in
Yeah.
today's technology.
Sure. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And technology too. That's another thing that you talk about. Constantly changing and updating. I remember seeing a lot of articles on technology, because there is so much new equipment that, again, a great place to learn all that stuff. So.
yeah, my question is, what are they going to come up with next?
Yeah.
It's just amazing what they come up with. Touch screens and
Nobody
pan-optics where you
knows.
could,
They just keep
you can tell the
advancing it.
species of fish now and everything is just
Mhm.
what
Yeah.
the size of them are. And
Sure. Yeah.
you shoot to the side, see where if they're at over
Yeah.
there, they're over there, how far, how
Right.
deep.
I'm not going to fish that one. I'm
Yeah.
going to go after that one because he's
Yeah.
bigger. So.
And that's how those guys found all those big crappies last year out here on Channel Lake too, with those technology.
Oh, really? Yeah.
the
I
side
remember that.
scan
Yeah.
and all that. That's how they
Mhm.
found them.
Yeah. Well, it opens. Yeah, it works for ice or open water.
Yeah, especially
so.
the basin crappie fishing. When the fish are in a big basin, that's a lot of water to cover.
Mhm.
And you're drilling holes just looking straight down. But when you
Mhm.
got the technology, we can shoot to the side 75 feet or 80 or 100 feet each way. You can just put it down a hole and
Mhm.
scan it all the way around.
Mhm.
Oh, there he is. You can go right to the spot, drill home, boom, you're on him.
Yeah.
That fast.
Right.
Where it would take you hours of drilling and just searching
Sure.
back in the day. So
Goes
it's-
back to that
it's
learning the
fast.
lake. Yeah,
Yeah.
you help. Technology certainly helps, and having the right equipment for anything
But
obviously
the marked
makes a
maps, you can
difference.
find humps and bars and things so fast now with all that.
Sure. Yeah.
It's really
Are any of those
incredible.
marked maps available online? Do you know? Or
Not yet, no.
no? Okay. Again, suggestion box.
It's coming.
Just an idea.
It's coming.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's all in the works.
That'd be a great
like I
thing
said,
to
electronic
actually have.
stuff, digital Midwest Outdoors is all in the works.
Okay, yeah. So that would be good to have available. So very good. So some new articles, new content, and yeah, all kinds of stuff.
But we'll be able to get some marked map articles, a local area, right here.
Yeah,
Laminated, we'll be able to.
there you go. Yep, we'll have those. But yeah, we do want to obviously try and promote the Midwest Outdoors, the pro staff meetings, the marked maps, all kinds of good stuff you can get here at the shop. So very good. Well, always a pleasure. I see you many times a week, but I enjoy having you on and doing these podcasts. So thanks for
It's always
carving
been a
out.
blast.
Yeah, thanks for carving out some
Yep.
extra time today, Phil, and look forward to many more articles from you. So
Sounds good.
good deal. Later, fishes. We'll see you on our next podcast here at Musky Tales.